Okay, this is day 9. What a change. We're just going to do the same thing for a couple of days. Go around that outside edge first and then work on the body parts. And just get them more and more better, comfortable at doing that. Then the last 3 or 4 days we'll do some things, load them in the horse trailer and such as that. But I want to get them pretty solid before we start throwing that thing at them. And so here we go. Every day a little bit of this. Little bit. Just keep throwing this kind of stuff at them till nothing bothers them. We'll go around the arena now and see how that works out for us. was a couple of times that way where he kind of ran, but he never pulled this rope tight. That is cool. Now we're going to stop him with our flag. Nice. Now we're going to go the other way. Now if you'll notice what we're starting to do with them now is when they're even with us, we just keep walking in a straight line. When they get ahead of us, that's when I bring them around me. Let them make a little circle and we start going down the rail again. I told you, eventually you could just walk in a straight line. He's almost to that point right now where he would rather stay with me than run ahead of me. That is a good problem to have. Hey, he's a good boy. Big old breath. We'll flex him real quick. He still likes for me to wait on him here just a little bit. And that's okay. I'm not going to get mad at him for this kind of stuff. I'll just help him. There. Nice. A little bit more. Nice. little bit more. Touch him, he gives, I give back. Yeah. I didn't like that he took that one step, so we're going to flex him one more time. I want him to just come in there and get soft. Come in and get soft. Let him know that's a good place. And it'll keep getting better. Try this side. Every time he gives, I give back. Shoulder and send him around me. Be pretty quiet today. Point, tap him right where you would if you were riding him. Quarters. Get that a little snappier before this whole deal's over. Me like that. Just there. Better. Shoulder. There. Kiss means trot, so I'm eventually, he will be trot today when I do that. Yep. Try to build a little bit of a fire in him. Shoulder. Yep. Little bit of a fire. Try to quit them when they're speeding up. If you quit them when they're speeding up, they'll start getting faster. If you quit them when they're slowing down, pretty quick you won't be able to untrack them. Yep. There, a little better. Big breath. We come over here. Stay with me. I stop, he stops. No pulling on the halter. Walk off. I stop, he stops. Change sides. Still a little sticky on this side. That's alright. He's trying to stay with me, just a little stickier on this side. Get him up here with me. Pressure on the pole, I want him to follow my hand. So that's why I exaggerate that hand so much. If I point that hand out there, I want him to go out there. If I point that hand that way, I want him to go that way. If I point it that way, I want him to follow that hand. Just like that. If I stop, they stop. Turn them. There, we walk off. If you'll notice, I don't thump on them when they're walking across them poles, even if they get behind me. That's for later down the road. I don't want them to think those obstacles are a bad thing. When we start training for in-hand trail, they'll never get corrected on the obstacle. They'll get corrected on the maneuvers, and the obstacle will be their reward. If that doesn't make any sense, just think it through for a minute. Alright, I'm going to flex him again. We're getting him to where he'll lead on both sides. We're getting him to where he'll stay with us. We're getting him to where he'll back up a little and yield his hindquarters a little. Slowly but surely getting these body parts broke loose. I want him to look at me. There. There. Touch and release. Touch and release. There. Now, we'll go back to practicing this. That tight spot, yield that hindquarter. There, rubbing. Through this tight spot, and yield that hindquarters. There, rubbing. Shoulder. There. Work on that back up while you're doing this too. Send them through there, hindquarters, and back them up a step. Just like that. Over here, shoulder, through, hip, just like that. Another place to put that back up to work on it. There's that side pass. And then let your flag stop him. Pretty nice. Just about like you'd teach a horse while you was riding it. You'd ride it over into the fence and let it take a step over. All this groundwork that we're doing with these babies is getting them geared toward being saddle horses. We try to make every groundwork exercise the same as a saddle exercise. I try not to do any tricks. There. Good boy. The side pass don't have to be very long. It just has to be correct. There. When they get straight with me, that's when they're corrected. When that hip's dragging or that shoulder's dragging, you got to straighten them out. When they get straight and they've been going sideways, at this stage of the game, that's correct. There. Much better. There. Good boy. And we're not going to grind on these things. We're just going to do them every day until they get better and better and better. This will be real important down the line. I want to be able to move around my horses' faces and their heads anytime and any way you can think of. From everything from warming them to putting a bit in their mouth. There. My hands are in their mouth and my two fingers are touching. Just like a Snapple bit. Let him lick on that when he drops his nose. Watch his nose. When he drops his nose, take it out. Work on this draw just a little bit. Touch that jaw. Step over here where he can see me. Hands in his mouth again. Drop that nose, take him out. Touch that jaw. See how he's already starting to give to that pressure? Let him look at me. Let him come to me. Rub on him. There's that Snapple bit in his mouth again. When he drops his nose, I'll take it out. Just like that. There's the front foot. First time he's ever had it picked up. Not too bad. We'll get into them feet a little further in a day or two. Front foot. First time they were ever picked up. Like I said, in a day or two we'll have all 4 feet. Oh, he's just being a good little guy. And I think that's all we're going to do with him today. We're going to tie him up for a little bit and let him go play after.